highly paranormally active all through here.
All through here.
Oh, yes. Afterlife Antiques and Oddities, and underneath here is the last remnant of their Eureka underground tunnels. It's owned by Rich McKay of Snowball Ranch, and he's also our county commissioner. Come on in. So for many years, this was a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
Like 46 years. Prior to that, it was a restaurant. But prior to that, it was built in 1868 and 69 by William Clark. And if you can imagine, during this time, back behind, there was what was known as China Row. So the Chinese were here, and they helped to build, along with the Italians, the community that you see here in Eureka. But there's a secret underneath, because we have the last remnant on the underground tunnels right here. So this is the first level. Eddie, do you have your flashlight with you? Oh, good. So this is the first level. If you were to actually look at this without the walls in it, it would look like one arch, two arch, and one long arch tunnel. Okay. So like most of the tunnels, it starts with a keystone and they build from the top down.
Interesting.
So in here with the flashlight, you can see this is the second arched little area here. Now it has an interesting and colorful past here. So all the wood that you see across on here, in 2013, the Nevada Department of Investigations actually came in here, and they busted it because they had a grow house, a serious marijuana grow house in there, in these tunnels.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, what I'm thinking though, is if it was Chinese, what do you think it would look like if the Italians didn't help build it? Like, what's their style? Would it be different?
It would be similar in building, but there's different styles and masonry styles, and most of the brick buildings that are here were built by the Italian workforce.
Yeah, because I think that's what they were known for.
But there was a large amount of Chinese that was here, and there's quite a few buildings that after the Great Fire of 1879, that's when the Opera House was built, the courthouse, and the Sentinel newspaper. And most of that was by the Italians, and the styling is the same. And so we're thinking that it was both, that the styling and everything through the Italian style, but that the workforce was both, and they built things so quickly.
Oh, yeah.
And the first things that any business would have is to get that root cellar in. But service tunnels, like many mining communities, was so important to build, but especially because they didn't want to see the workforce.
Right.
Layers in 1868-69. So building this, building upstairs, which was first like a grocery store, and then a 17-room hotel up above it, and then later they were able to build the roof because it was like a canvas top.
Oh my gosh.
On the top until they had finished it. So from 1868, 69, 70, 71, 72, constant building was going on in the area because it was starting to boom with the mining community. So, like I said, being able to see the last remnant of what was 2 miles worth of tunnel under here, it's amazing.
And then when they put the plumbing down in the building, it just tore it all up.
Whoa!
Watch your step.
This is how I feel when we go down the basement at the store.
Yes.
Check out that door.
Whoa.
Yes, the fireproof doors.
That is intense.
Yeah, it is.
Quite charred.
Yeah. Quite a few fires, huh?
We're going to take you into the upstairs, the cafe downstairs. This was a 17-room hotel in the 1800s. And William Clark built it, and then later on William sat it.
Oh my.
Now look up. There's a beautiful tin ceiling
From the 1800s.
and tin on the side that's decorated.
Oh.
So Mr. McKay is slowly to the vacation rental house.
The old building was fantastic.
Jeez.
70s and 80s, this was still a hotel. And they used some of the rooms for small
Yeah,
apartments.
yeah.
And so you'll see some of the very old, and then you're going to see some 1970s, 80s.
Oh yeah. Look at this.
So, and it transitions. So many a paranormal investigative group has been through here with Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, Spirit of Nevada, and it's highly paranormally active all through here.
All through here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, see, that's all modern in there.
So this has been blocked up, but when you look from the outside in this way, there was 2 doors and there was once a balcony out there. It was beautiful. So then you can see in here, it was modern. Yeah. It's tiny. Doesn't this crack you up from the old right into the new? Let me peek at something just to give you a little perspective. So downstairs where we were, quietly as not to scare the folks next door. If I can unlock it. And then look down and you'll see the stairs that come up. And then look up. Oh my gosh. This is like a royalty. That's amazing. So, Eureka Saloon. And then on the other side is Kuda's Winery. He's working to put a restaurant in. And so the Eureka Cafe right downstairs, the hotel pass-through, and then the Eureka Saloon. This through here, especially when we go on tours in the evening, lots of orbs. We've picked up a lot of voices, names of different people.
Do you get a feeling of like good, or do you get a feeling of tragedy?
I think throughout each place has different feelings around here, and why they're here, we don't know if it's residual. Was it a happy place at one time, or a tragic place? So it's all those questions that we don't know as to why do we hear voices? Why do we see shadows? Why do we have so much paranormal activity? And we use different paranormal devices like GhostTube SLS, Oviluses to listen. So it's kind of a mystery as why are they here?
Right.
But from 1864 until now, in those 1860s, 70s, and 80s, it was a Wild West town. It was a mining town.
And there was
so,
probably all the murders and
and so hangings. We were a hang town too.
Okay.
So there was hangings, but the main thing is it was a growing community because the mining was so rich here. Silver, gold.
growing, but also probably very hugely diverse from everywhere.
At one time, we were the most international city in the United States.
Yeah.
Because it started with the Irish, the Cornish, the Welsh, the Danish, the German. We had the Chinese, we had the African Americans, and people from India, and all over, similar to our sister city, which was Virginia City. And they were neck and neck with how much they were producing in silver and gold. So yes, a very international city.
Yeah.
So as we were talking about bodies, it's interesting that many a grocery store doubled, especially in the winter, and the butcher shops as a temporary morgue because you can't dig into frozen ground. And so they would wrap the bodies with waxed canvas and store them until it
In
thawed
there.
down.
That's probably where they stored them, right in there.
And so
No way, that's a beer cooler. Don't mess bodies in beer.
So this is a little bit left over of the evidence tape, and because this is such an unusual shop, I just love that they had kept a little bit of the evidence tape. Those are the stairs. Down the next door is the Eureka Saloon.
So have you ever been running to see? They were, I don't know, 20, 30 feet off the deck. It was close enough I could, if the guy had his visor up, I could tell you what color his eyes were. One of these days I'll eventually get a chance to fly. Almost had to fly with an inmate last year.
Yeah, darn it.
Never had the want really to climb in a perfectly good aircraft. That neat. Is that your guys'
Yep.
craft?
The only plane here.
There's one over there.
Yeah, I don't know. Are those crop? What are those?
Yeah, it's a
They're
crop
different.
duster.
Yeah.